Hi everybody, what's up? It's your girl B Sparrow. BuzzzTweet Radio 2020. Shooting the facts. How's everyone doing on this Monday? It's nice and cool over here, Oxon Hill, Maryland. Little rain. I guess the weather is finally taking a change and heading towards the winter months. Y'all be careful out there. You know, it's another wave of the coronavirus approaching us. Congratulations to the LA Lakers. Won the championship last night against the Miami Heat. I think this is their 17th, I could be wrong, 17th championship. I could be wrong. So I wanted to talk about this news article that I came across. This white woman threw her puppy at a black man in a viral video. The woman is unidentified and she is seen throwing a puppy at a black man after they had a verbal altercation. The clip exploded on social media, sparking outrage as the woman and heartfelt praise for the man who eventually kept the puppy. Twitter user Glow Muller uploaded the video in which he says he was confronted by a seemingly disturbed white woman. The two were alone outside of an empty intersection, and it is unclear how and why the confrontation began. He recorded himself going back and forth with the woman, whose comments were hard to make out during much of the video, although some racial comments could be heard. In the clip, he eventually asked if the dog belonged to the woman, who was roughly handling the puppy. She proceeded to throw the puppy at him in response, and the puppy hit the ground, landed roughly on the ground, began to yelp, and ran towards the man. The 2-minute-long clip was seen more than 17 million times and garnered more than 53,000 retweets and 141,000 likes. As of reporting this, there are more than 9,000 comments. Oh, the Belgian Malinois puppy was recused by the man who set up a GoFundMe page for the dog, which he named Movie. Movie was rescued from a psycho Karen by the person she was thrown at this. Okay, let me read this because he didn't punctuate this. He says, Movie was rescued from a psycho Karen by the person she was thrown at. This is for anyone who wants to help her. He said on his GoFundMe that has already surpassed its goal of $3,000. And the video is kind of hard to watch. She threw the puppy at the man. The puppy hit the ground, crying. Oh, I'm not even an animal person, but that broke my heart, and I hope they get her and charge her with something. I really do. How evil can you be? She slung the puppy at the man. I hope they get her. So far, they have not identified her. I'm going to keep y'all up to date on that story. In other news, Utah officer charged for allegedly ordering dog to attack a black man. The Utah police officer charged for allegedly ordering a dog to attack a black man. Salt Lake County District Attorney Sam Gill filed charges of second-degree felony aggravated assault after a Salt Lake City police officer used unlawful force on a black man via his police dog. Jeffrey Ryans, who was 36, was already compliant on his knees with his hands in the air when Officer Nicholas Pierce ordered his police canine to bite the man. The incident occurred on April 24th at Ryan's home after his daughter called police during an argument with her mother. See, this is terrible. Black people can't even call the police anymore. We can't even call the police anymore to help us because we are the ones that eventually ended up getting killed. Look at Jonathan Price, Sean Lucas over the past weekend. That's a perfect example. Jonathan Price, he saw a man beating up on a woman, decided that he wanted to help the woman. He called the police, and he ended up dead. Got killed by a rookie, a 22-year-old rookie in Texas. This happened in Texas. 22-year-old Sean Lucas, a rookie. Instead of him paying attention to why he was called on the scene, he tried to arrest Jonathan Price, who he thought was drunk. But the call was not for Jonathan Price. The call was for the other man that was beating up the woman. So he tried to detain Jonathan Price. When Jonathan Price tried to walk away, he tased him with his taser. And so when Jonathan tried to pull the taser away from him, he shot him 4 times. And killed him. Sean Lucas shot Jonathan Price 4 times. Black man, and killed him. So pretty soon, we're not going to be able to call the police at all to be in our favor of anything. So this article goes on to say, I wasn't running, he recalled to the Salt Lake Tribune. I wasn't fighting, I was just cooperating. We've been through this. We've seen this. Always cooperate with the police, no matter what. Body cam footage showed that Pierce saying good boy to the dog as it latches into Ryan's leg and the man screams in pain. The injury caused Ryan to have multiple surgeries, lose his job, and in a lawsuit against the Salt Lake City Police Department, he alleged that he now has difficulty walking. Doctors have not ruled out the possibility that he may one day need to have his leg amputated. Ryan's wife had filed an order of protection against her husband in December of last year. However, he said that his wife told him that the order was lifted. He told police that he had been back in their home for weeks. He is currently facing a charge for violating the order, but no court date is pending. See, women, we have to stop doing that. Stop putting a protective order against your man and then bring him back into the household. That's crazy. Stop doing it. Pierce was suspended from his job, but has not been terminated. The president of the Salt Lake City Police Association alleges that the decision to charge the officer was politically motivated. However, the Civilian Review Board disagreed and said that Ryan's was showing no discernible attempt to stand up, deciding the officer had less violent options to address the situation. Salt Lake City's Mayor Erwin Mendenhall has suspended the use of the department's canine bite program pending a review. Ladies, stop. Stop putting a protective order against your man and then letting him back in the house. Because that's not going to be a good thing for you. That's not going to be good for you in the future. Pretty soon, we're not going to be able to call the police. I'm going back to Jonathan Price again. He offered a handshake to the Texas police officer that was called. He offered to shake the policeman's hand. The fatal encounter between Jonathan Price and police officer Sean Lucas began when the victim offered a handshake to the cop who is now accused of murdering him. Officer Sean Lucas was responding to a possible fight in progress at the Quick Check convenience store around 8:30 p.m. in Wolf City, per the probable cause affidavit. The incident was captured on the officer's body cam. Lucas, Lucas was met by Price, who greeted him cordially and tried to shake his hand. According to the affidavit, Price asked Lucas multiple times, "You doing good?" while extending his hand. Despite the overture, Lucas insisted that Price, 31, was possibly intoxicated and tried to detain him. "I can't be detained," Price responded. Lucas then grabbed Price's arm and gave him verbal instructions, but Price did not heed the warning. Lucas used his taser when he failed to comply, and the 22-year-old rookie then shot Price as he walked away from him. While being tased, Price continued to walk toward Officer Lucas. Price appeared to reach out and grab the end of Officer Lucas's taser. Officer Lucas discharged his firearm 4 times, striking Pierce in the upper torso. A Texas Rangers investigator wrote in the probable cause affidavits. Witnesses have recounted that Price was attempting to break up a fight between a man and a woman at the gas station last Saturday. Price, a former athlete employed by Wolf City as a fitness trainer, was the only one shot. Lucas was suspended by the Wolf City Police Department and was arrested and charged with murder on Monday. His bond was set at $1 million. The Texas Rangers determined that his actions were not objectionably reasonable, but his attorney disagrees. So, there you have it, y'all. I don't know, pretty soon, we're not going to be able to call the police at all. So, anyway, I wanted to talk about Spreaker now. I got a message from Spreaker saying that they paused the revenue share program, paused my monetized podcast because I broke the rules by playing music. And they don't monetize music podcasts. Well, since when? Because most of the people that I know on Spreaker play music through their podcasts. They say all of my content was music, which was not. I have Shooting the Facts, which is an audio podcast. And then I have, I had because I had to delete it. I deleted all of my music content because Spreaker says they do not monetize music. So now I'm waiting for them to contact me or return my email to see what I have to do to get my monetization unblocked. Otherwise, I will be looking for another home to host my podcast. After everything that I've done on Spreaker, I may have to look for another home to host my podcast. And I don't want to do that. I really don't. So Hurry up and get back at me, Spreaker. Because I need to know what I need to do for you all to unblock the revenue shared program on my podcast. And let me see what else is going on in the news. Okay, I thought I accidentally closed my podcast, but let me see what else is going on in the news. Let me do one more story, and then I'm going to get off of this podcast. So, Donald Trump says Kamala Harris cannot become the first woman president. He said that would rip our country apart. He says, let me read this article. The article says, with the November election just weeks away, Donald Trump is out on the campaign trail to condemn his Democratic opponent, Joe Biden, and running mate Kamala Harris. At a campaign appearance in the battleground state of Wisconsin, where he won by a slim margin in 2016, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, because we all know that the 2016 election was tampered with. And I'm not just saying that. If you look at the Social Dilemma on Netflix, you have all these high-tech people that worked for different platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You know, especially when the internet was first popping. These people, these techies that worked for those companies, everything that they've done, now they wish that they have not done. Because they are linking social media with mental health. They said these big companies that invest in these social media platforms, they know everything about the user. They know when the user is depressed. They know when the user is stalking an ex-lover. They know when the user is happy. They know when the user is sad. They know what the user does every time they log on into these social media platforms. I got a good friend of mine that refused to get on social media. My oldest brother, at one time, he refused to get on social media. They refused. And now I understand why. They should be so lucky. Although my brother did break down and got him a Facebook account. But my thing is, when my brother was living in the Washington, D.C. area, he left home and moved to D.C. away from all of his friends. This whole time, he did not have a Facebook account. The minute he moved back to North Carolina where his old friends are, that's when he get the Facebook account. I don't understand it. It just don't make sense to me. But my friend, she refuses to get on social media. And I used to get so mad at her, like, get an account. She's in North Carolina. I'm in D.C. You know, I felt, that's a good way that we could, communicate. But she refused, and I envy her now. I envy her. Y'all check out The Social Dilemma on Netflix and watch them admit to you that the 2016 election was tampered with by Russian intelligence. And they said that they are still tampering. They advise everybody to stay off social media, especially Facebook, as much as possible. Everything you see that's going on in this country, or around the world, the protests, everything is linked with social media. So back to this article. At a campaign appearance in the battleground state of Wisconsin, where he won by a slim margin in 2016, allegedly, Trump tried to cast an ominous message about Harris, saying if a woman is going to become the first president of the United States, it can't be her. He said that would rip our country apart, Trump said in front of a crowd. This is not what people want, and she comes in through the back door. This would not be what people want, especially because of her. Now, when he says she's coming in through the back door, I think he means that she's not American. I think that's what he's saying. The president continued by commenting on Biden's poor choice of selecting Harris as his running mate, given that the California senator was very critical of the former vice president when she ran against him in the primaries. I said brilliantly, he'll never pick her because she was too terrible to him, Trump stated. But she picked him. But he picked her, was what he meant to say. But I'm going to read the article as it's written. Okay, he said, I said brilliantly, he'll never pick her because she was too terrible to him, Trump stated. But she picked him, and hopefully that's going to be history. It's not going to matter, and that is no way for a woman to become the first president. That's for sure. Trump has taken several chances to publicly condemn Harris since she became Biden's running mate. Last week, during a campaign rally in North Carolina, Trump, who purposely and mockingly mispronounced her first name, said she could never be the first woman president because people don't like her. He also said at that North Carolina rally that a Harris presidency would be an insult to our country. Ooh, child. And so, there you have it. There you have it. Do y'all think that President Donald Trump really has the coronavirus? Because he healed pretty quickly. I've known some people that contracted the virus that was bedridden for days, weeks, perhaps months. So Giuliani is awaiting for a COVID-19 result, and he coughs while slamming Biden on Fox News. You can't even cough no more these days, boy. You cough, people will look at you side-eyed. So former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani frequently coughed through a Fox News interview as he awaits the results of his COVID-19 test. I hope that cough is not anything bad. You're waiting for your test to come back. We hope you're going to be healthy as well, Fox News host Martha McCallum said. Giuliani responded, I hope so too. I'll let you know tomorrow. He told McCallum that he had tested negative using a quick response test, but he was tested with a PCR COVID-19 test, which is the deep nose swab test. As of press time, he has not released his latest test results. The 76-year-old Giuliani was in close contact with President Donald Trump as he helped the president prepare for last week's debate with Democratic presidential hope for Joe Biden. The president has since tested positive for coronavirus and was treated over the weekend at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. Also involved in Trump's debate preparations was former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who has since tested positive. Giuliani was also in close contact with former Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway and senior aide Hope Hicks, both of who have also tested positive for COVID-19. In the Fox News interview, Giuliani was criticizing Biden for wearing a mask. He said that Biden wears a mask as a political statement to scare people and mocked the former vice president for wearing one at the podium. It isn't science to be wearing that mask, Joe, when you are giving a speech and people are 30 and 40 feet away from you, Giuliani said. The only thing you can infect is the teleprompter that's near you. Twitter users quickly mentioned the former mayor's unwell disposition on the social media site. Journalist Olivia Nuzzi, Washington correspondent for New York Magazine, observed that Rudy Giuliani looks very out of it on Fox News. During the interview, Giuliani said that while he had previously gotten sick, he doesn't wear a mask as much as he probably should. Excuse me, y'all, for coughing. These people are out of their minds. Speaking of coronavirus, Trey Songz tests positive for COVID-19. Don't be like the president, he says. The singer said he was down but not out, urging fans to be safe, wear your mask, and wash your hands. The R&B singer took to Instagram to tell fans that he has tested positive for COVID-19. Here with a very important message to let you know I tested positive for COVID-19, he shared. I've taken many tests as I've been out protesting, food drives, of course. I have a very young son at home, so I get tested periodically. And this time, it unfortunately came back positive. The 35-year-old singer, born Tremaine Neverson, told fans he would treat his diagnosis mindfully. If you come in contact with COVID, please do the same, he pleaded. Please do the same. Don't be like the president. 7.5 million Americans have contracted COVID. 1 out of 1,000 black people have died from it, he said. I will be taking this seriously. I will be self-quarantining. I will be in my house until I see a negative sign. He noted that his grandfather died earlier this year, and while his cause of death was not listed as COVID-19, the singer shared that he believed the deadly virus contributed to his death. In the caption of the video, Songz said that he was down but not out. He urged his fans to stay safe, wear your mask, and wash your hands. The Grammy Award-nominated musician has spent much of 2020 on the front lines in his native Virginia, fighting against police brutality and systemic racism. He released a single in June called Riots 2020, How Many Times, an anthem for the national protest. During an Instagram live session with DJ D Nice, the singer said that he wanted to acknowledge the pain and the anguish everyone is going through right now. I know this ain't usually my message, and you're not used to hearing this from me, but this is the person I've always been. On the song he sings, how many mothers have to cry, how many brothers going to die, how many times. The official video features Trey Songz participating in Black Lives Matter protests in his native state. His latest project is amply titled Back Home. It's your girl, B Sparrow, BuzzzTweet Radio 2020, Shooting the Facts. Please comment, like, subscribe, but not necessarily in that order. It's your girl, B Sparrow, BTR 2020, Shooting the Facts. Holla if you hear me.